Raul and I used to call Glenn the brownest, more Chicano gringo you'll ever meet. My name is Rubén Reyes. I was, whatever you want to call it, as district director for 22 years, but I knew him way before then. But, I didn't come here to say goodbye to Raul. I came to thank him. See, Raul was not a congressman. He was a lifelong activist who happened to be a member of Congress, and his community loved him for it, for his unflinching, unwavering, unapologetic, happy-go-lucky style. I was a farm worker, University of Arizona college kid from the small town of Somerton, Arizona, when I first met Raul in the fall of '87. I was in a college group called Mecha, Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlán, and Raul was our advisor. We would meet at General Ben's to discuss the Chicano movement and how we would take over Aztlán or have a car wash. I thought he was a little weird, and he asked me about Somerton, about working in the fields. He liked hearing, my stories about my dad, de mis padres, and nuestro movimiento, and our involvement in the Cesar Chavez movement. If you were down for the movement, Raul was down for you. He seemed to like Somerton a lot. He said, those pesticides must have done a number on you because you guys from Somerton are out to lunch. Especially your sister, Raul used to call my sister Norma the real Reyes. I have never liked the term the Grijalva machine because it dehumanizes Raul and the movement that we are all part of. Raul introduced me to politics and to Tucson. And when you go to a Grijalva campaign, you meet so many wonderful people with a rich history of Southern Arizona. I met people like Isabel Garcia, Raul Aguirre, Guadalupe Castillo, John Miles, lifelong friends, Ana Ma, Chris, Cassandra, Rosemary Marquez, on and on. All of them with wonderful stories of the struggle. A Grijalva campaign has always been a gathering of traviesos, desastrosos, riffraff, descalzos, rebel rousers, reprobates, as he used to say, and all around ne'er-do-wells, and it was fun. And boy, did we eat good. At the campaign headquarters, I was always asked, what are we gonna have for lunch? And we used to say, Raul and I, if you finish canvassing your precinct, it will be tacos Abson. In fact, it was working on one of these crazy campaigns that I met my future wife, Regina Romero. But Raul and I would travel throughout the district together many times, and every time it was amazing to see him talk to everyone in Cochise County, in Nogales, in West Valley, and in Yuma County. He would talk to all the community leaders, mayors, supervisors, but also he would talk to the waiters, the landscapers, the teachers, the immigrants, the construction workers, easily swaying back and forth in English and Spanish. But being in a car with Raul was an experience. Some of you guys know this. When we would travel to Somerton, I thought that I would get quality time with him and get a lot of work done. It's a 4-hour drive. By the time we were at Picacho Peak, the car would be a mess, newspapers and coffee stains everywhere. His bean burrito half eaten and half on his sweater vest. Yes, Raul wears the Veterist in Arizona in July. He would try to brush the beans off his vest and asked me, does this look better for the press conference? I said, no, man, it's all over you. Nah, he would say. By the time we hit Gila Bend, I would try to talk business with him, but he would have none of it as he rolled down the window and make the wind a bigger mess of the notes in the newspaper. He would light a cigarette and the ashes would fly right back inside, and he would crank the music as loud as he could. The only problem is that Raul likes to listen to music, like his songs, 15 seconds at a time. Ooh, I like that song, and then he hits fast forward. We would listen to albums, entire albums in less than 5 minutes. The only time we ever listened to an album from beginning to end was when he popped in a CD, by the way, that he had stolen from my desk and re-gifted it back to me for Christmas. It was a Bob Marley CD. And watching him air guitar play it, scream through the wind and say, don't worry about a thing, everything's gonna be all right. And then he looked at me and says, tell me the truth, Rubén, if you could sing like that, would you be working for me? Years later, I now have a son in college. I have a daughter at Pueblo High School, the same Pueblo High School where his grandchildren go to. And these young people, they restarted Mecha at Pueblo High School. Now, I don't know if they're ever going to overtake Aslan, but I do hope that they meet a counselor, a leader, a mentor, an advisor like I did, somebody like Raul, somebody that encouraged them to speak their voice, somebody that tells them that it is okay to hope, somebody that tells them that not only is it okay to speak for yourself and to speak for others that can't, but that it is expected of you. We see his family, and especially Mona, what I call Raul's secret weapon, the lady with the best hugs in the world. Each of us, all our Grijalvistas, will honor Raul in our own way, and I have no choice but to work on other campaigns and do what I can, but I will eventually make my way back to Somerton, in the middle of the night, and somewhere along Gila Bend, I will roll down that window and let that crazy midnight desert air make a wreck out of my life one more time, and I will play, this time on Spotify, Bob Marley, and I know that I will not be alone when I start hearing those lyrics. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing gonna be all right. Gracias, Raúl. Adelante, Grijalvistas.